Hey guys, welcome back to Mark3. I've shown you before how to make multicolor coasters like this, but they've been kind of tedious and use paid tools like Adobe Illustrator. But today I have a really cool method that uses a new tool from Bambu Lab called MakerLab. It's completely free and online, and you can do all sorts of cool things, like even make them double-sided, and they can have a cool keychain loop, just like a real keychain. So without further ado, let's get started. To start off, I'm going to show you guys how to make the simple dual color coaster with a solid back, just so that we can get the hang of things in MakerLab. Alright, to get started, we will go over to makerworld.com, and up in the top bar, there is a link to MakerLab. Here they have a bunch of tools. They update them pretty frequently. The newest one is the relief sculpture, but we want image to keychain. You can do much more than keychains. You can see they do bookmarks and, well, keychains, but we'll do a coaster. To start off, I'm going to make a coin the band coaster. You can kind of see what I started here. So to see the image that we're starting with, this is just an image search. I found this image. It's just a logo. It doesn't have like the coaster base yet. So I think this is a really good example to show when you have like a design but no backing yet. So if we go back into the logo creator or the keychain creator, we can drag in our design. And then usually you'll have a background on the image. This one we got lucky because it has a transparent background, but you would just uncheck keep background and it'll delete the background and you'll see the checkerboard behind it. Other than that, we can just click confirm and it'll take a few seconds to process this image. And here it's asking you for 8 or 12 colors. It's basically just wondering how many AMS units you have. I have 2, so I would click 8 color, but this is just a single color design, so I'm just going to use the single color that it suggests. I'll click confirm, and so this looks really good, although the one thing I will note is that it doesn't have the backing yet, and I want it to be the opposite color, so I want the logo to be white and the backing to be black. So in order to do this, I can use my scroll wheel to change the size, and we can go into this 3D view in the lower right, using your left click to move the camera, and then you can click down your scroll wheel to pan the camera. We can actually add another color up in filament color as long as you have color selected in the tabs. So we'll click plus, I'll add white, and click the check mark. And so now I can actually just select white for this. And you'll notice that it selects a backing automatically in black, but we can fix that later. If we go into plate and thickness, this is where we add our actual coaster backing. So for this, I want simple shape because we want a circle. I'm going to select the circle for the shape. This is an ellipse, but we will select the width and height to be the same, so it'll be a circle. So 100 by 100 is usually what I use for coasters. And then for the thickness, 2 millimeters is fine because we want 1 millimeter for the backing, and then we want 1 millimeter thick for the actual design, just because the white filament probably isn't going to be opaque enough for a single layer. But anyway, we will go ahead and go back into the 2D view. So that's back in the bottom right. And just to adjust the sizing, I can click on this tool, the select image one. It's got a really long name. But here you can select the width. So I'm going to select maybe 75 millimeters for the width. And then the quirky thing about this 2D view is that I guess you don't click and drag your logo. You click and drag the backing. So I'm just going to click and drag it until these alignment lines show up. And so that shows me that it's completely centered. You can also do it just by eyeball because sometimes things will be like technically centered, but visually they don't look centered. So you just have to play around with it. But that is just something to keep in mind. We can go back into this 3D view. And I actually don't want it to have like this raised up portion. I want it to have a black back, but I don't want it to be raised up because it's going to be a coaster. So here we can do face down mode. And so what that does is it automatically makes it so that when you export this as a 3MF and import it into Bambu Studio, it'll already be flipped over, as in rotated 180 degrees, so that it prints face down. And so when it's printing, it'll look kind of like it's backwards or it's printing mirrored. But that's just how it works so that you can get it printed face down on the bed. As for the image thickness, if you didn't do a 2 millimeter backing, you can do something like 0.5 millimeters for the image thickness, and that'll make it so that you don't print as much white, you don't have to do as many color changes, but if your white filament isn't as opaque, then it might show the black through a little bit. But I think for us, 1 millimeter should be fine. And this is actually done because we already have the backing done. I can show you in the settings. There are different variants for different backings you can do, but I'll show you those later. But for this, you can go to download, and then you want to download the 3MF version. It'll ask you to buy the keychain holes, but we didn't actually make a keychain for this one. So I can open this up, and here it automatically loads everything. I'm not updating my Bambu Studio, and it doesn't center it for mine at least, but I can select my actual printer. So this will go on the X1 Carbon. And for these values, these are actually pretty important. So you should take a look at these. It's always going to add ironing to the top surfaces by default, and it's going to use Arachne instead of Classic for the wall generator. I'm going to discard these values, and I'll show you how to set those yourself. So we can just arrange this so that it's actually centered. It looks good. Then in quality, we can go to wall generator and select Arachne. This just means it's better for like text and stuff like that because it calculates the outer walls differently. As for the ironing, because we're doing face down, we actually don't need to iron it at all. But if you wanted to, you would look under ironing, and then the different types are top surfaces, topmost surface, or all solid layers. I've never used all solid layers, so I would just select topmost surface if you do want to actually iron. But I'll keep it with none, and then we can slice it. And now this purge tower is a little bit controversial, I guess. You don't have to include it. It just makes your prints a little bit cleaner because sometimes the AMS filament swishing process will make it have little wisps of filament around your nozzle, and this basically just catches them. To turn that off, you go into the Others tab, and then you would disable Prime Tower, and that's gone. You can also change the sizes of it, but honestly, I keep it on because it's not that much filament for these flat prints. And the last thing I want to talk about is just this kind of weird glitching pattern that you see. So when you have multiple objects that are occupying the same space in Bambu Studio, there's this phenomenon where the lower object in the object list takes precedence. So if we go into the object viewer and we expand the keychain draft, you can see we have the black portion and then we have a few different white segments. And so we know that in this actual print, because this is solid, it's going to print the white over them because white is lower down in the list. Now let's say I slice this, and for some, I don't know, some weird reason, I said I don't want the white to take precedence over the black over here. I wanted the black to take precedence. I would just select the black color part. You can do Command X or Control X on Windows. Click back on your assembly, and then Control V or Command V. And so basically that just introduces it back at the bottom of the list. And so if we slice it again, it's not going to show us that text because now the black is lower in the list. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are rearranging anything in this list. So to get that back, you can just do Control Z or Command Z, and it's all back to normal. So this one turned out pretty well, but I think we're ready for something a little bit more advanced, something with more colors. So let's try this. This is obviously the Firefox logo, as we all know, and I think it'll be the perfect demonstration for a 6-color print. So I'm going to grab this official Firefox logo, and you can see some of the colors are a little bit off, but we can fix that all in MakerLab. So I'm going to uncheck Keep Background, and it's going to remove all the stars and that green background, and I can click Confirm. And now it's going to map all the colors. So we had a bunch of colors in the original image, and I'm only going to select 4 color, even though I have 8 colors available, just so that it's a little bit simpler, because this color matching is kind of overwhelming at first. But if you kind of ignore it, you don't have to worry about it. So first off, let's go ahead and get the sizing right. So I'm going to select this, and actually the sizing is pretty good already. It's at 100 millimeters wide. And for the filament colors, I'm going to switch these a little bit around because I don't have these exact colors. So I'm going to switch this to a brown, like I have the wood PLA. Then I'll use black. I have kind of a neon orange. This should be actually fine. And then I have white. And then I'm also going to want to do blue and green for the earth. So I'll add blue and a green. These don't have to match your filament colors exactly, just because you're going to have to bring them into Bambu Studio anyway. But let's go ahead and assign some of these colors now. So for the eyes, I definitely want these to not be orange. So I'm going to go into the 3D viewer, take a look at that. So we need the eyes, and then we need to do the paws. There is a little like sliver right over here. And then we need to change the globe. So going back here, we can go to select color blocks, zoom in with your scroll wheel. I'm going to click on the eyeball, and we'll select white for that, white for the little highlight. Same with the other eye. And then for these paws, I actually want them to be the same color as the body. So I'm going to do that. And there's a scene here, but in Bambu Studio, it'll just consolidate all of these bodies, so it shouldn't be an issue. For the water, I want it to be blue. For the land, we should make that green. My green is much darker, but it should be okay. And then this is just like a weird little artifact from I don't even know what, but we'll just set that to black. And that looks really good. So now we'll go to plate and thickness, because this is kind of where all the magic happens, so to speak. For the default, if we go into the 3D view, you'll see that it has a solid colored back, and you can change the color of that back here if you wanted it to be like a coaster with just one side. But this doesn't have any text on it, so I can actually make it two-sided. It should be fine. So I'm going to set it to double-sided. And now if we look on the back, both sides are the design, but it's not mirrored. So there is also a mirror option. It's just that it makes it so that there has to be a background behind it. And so that makes it, you know, symmetrical in the opposite way. But I will do double-sided. I will also select face down mode because I want it to be face down. It sets it inside the bed for some reason inside of this viewer, but it just makes it easier in Bambu Studio. And now if you wanted to make this an ornament or something, or a keychain, you can actually do attachment. So here, to adjust where the attachment is, you can't drag it in the 3D viewer. You have to go into the 2D viewer. And now you can actually adjust where it goes. You can put it pretty much anywhere. I like to kind of integrate it into the design a little bit so it's not super, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And then we can go back into the 3D viewer. And for the image thickness, 2 might be better for a coaster, but I'm just going to do this as a demo. So I'm going to do 1 millimeter, and it'll print much faster. This will print in probably under an hour, even though it has, 6 colors. So let's go ahead and download this as a 3MF file. We'll open it up in Bambu Studio. We won't update. No, thank you. And then we can select our actual presets. So I'm going to print this on the X1 carbon. For these modified values, I'm going to discard these because I don't want any ironing. Make sure that your build plate is correct. If your build plate is set wrong for a print like this, it'll almost immediately fail just because it probably won't stick, or it'll stick too well. But for the filaments, let me go into my devices, and I can actually just sync them up from here. So I'll grab black, we have orange, wood brown, white, green, and blue. So it looks a little different, but I think it'll turn out pretty good. And the great part about this maker is that it doesn't consolidate everything into a single model by default. So you can still go into this viewer and you can change all these colors if you want. So you could change any of these. I'm just pressing the numbers on my keyboard to change it. So number 4 is white, so I clicked 4. I'll set it back to orange, which is 2. But you can also get rid of like this little keychain holder if you want. So it's probably the first one listed. And I'll just press delete or backspace. And there we go. So I'll slice this and I'll print this out and we'll see how it turns out. And here we have the final coaster. I think it turned out pretty well, but I hope this gives you some ideas to work off of for your own coasters, keychains, or whatever. You can even make signs, although they have another sign maker. But yeah, MakerLab is a really cool and convenient tool It's completely free. I don't know if it'll be free forever, but for now, it is probably the best way to make these 2D multicolor 3D prints. I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but it is what it is. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and happy printing.